How do I read a patent application or a patent? Hi, my name is Derek Fahey. I'm a registered patent attorney and a trademark attorney with the Plus IP firm. And this is going to be a brief video on how a professional reads a patent or a patent application. So as a patent attorney, people will ask me questions about patents all the time. Am I infringing? Am I not infringing? And I can clearly tell based upon the questions that I'm being asked. And sometimes it's attorneys as well, not only just inventors or business owners, but I will get questions and I can tell that they're not reading the patent correctly. So I wanted to just give a few minutes on how a professional reads a patent or a patent application. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and get started here. All right. So the first thing we're going to look at when you see a patent is you really need to take a look at the patent number. This tells you a lot. This you can see it's 10,896,436. That tells me that's a patent number. Many times you will actually not be looking at a patent number. You'll be looking at a patent application publication number. For example, you can see this here. This actually looks a lot different. This is actually a publication number. See how it has the year? That's actually the year that it published. And you can see here, that's the year that it published. Not every patent application becomes a patent. Sometimes it gets rejected because it doesn't meet the requirements to become a patent. And you can tell it's a publication quickly, because it has like the number that looks like a year. So look, 2021, you can tell immediately it's not an issued patent. That doesn't mean that it is not going to become a patent, but you have to do some additional due diligence. So just because you have a published document does not mean you have patent rights yet. You need to do some further digging. I'll go through that in a different video, not today. But the second thing I take a look at is the date that this application was filed. June 15th, 2020. There's some more nuances to this, but generally speaking, it's 20 years from the filing date is when the patent will expire. So for example, in this case here, this patent expires in 20 years from 2020. Again, that is really important. If you get a patent from the 80s, the patent will be expired. You're not going to have to worry about it. So you can actually use the content and not worry about infringing. That's actually very important. So as a patent attorney, the first thing I look at is these two things. Then once I say, okay, this thing's enforceable, I need to take a deeper dive into it. I will start looking at this. I'll look at the title, which tells me what it is. This is systems and methods for providing authenticity, integrity, and non-repudiation of advertising technology. And this is actually one of my patents one of the patents that I got for one of my clients, software cryptography related. So I'll get a general idea of what it is, and then I'll actually read the abstract. The abstract generally kind of tells me what the concept is. It talks about blockchain, talks about advertising requests and sending messages. And then once I say, okay, well, this is something I really want to read more about, if I'm looking at an infringement analysis, I actually will go to the last section of the application. So here's the first page. I'm going to go all the way down to the end of the section, and you'll see the claim section. You'll see we claim, and you'll see a bunch of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And now what's important to note is that this is actually the issued patent. This issued patent, the claims of this issued patent may be different than what's published. For example, you can see that there's 18 claims here. This is the issued patent. And on this page, this is the publication. There's 20 claims. So during the examination process, the claims were adjusted. And again, all public knowledge, you can go on this online and look at this. But you're able to see what was changed between the filed application, the published application, and the issued patent. So just know that if you have an issued patent, again, and this is the issued patent, You can see that number looks has a date in front of it or a year. The publication does not mean you actually have granted patent rights. You know what happens is during the examination process, the rights may change, but you should be careful when you're dealing with publications, because you need to take a deeper dive to see if it could be an issue for you, if you're actually going to be potentially want to be selling a competitive product that may be an issue for this particular patent. Okay, so now that I examine the claims, well, first off, let's talk about the claims. The claims section is the last part of the application in the United States, but it's the most important part of that application. Claims section really defines the scope of the invention, and the entire application is based on these claims. And it happens to be the shortest, but it's like the nucleus. It's like everything else is about these particular claims. So this actually identifies what is important about this application, what's inventive. And when you litigate, this is what you're litigating over, is the language in these claims. So if you want to take a look at and see what is in the invention, you got to read the claims section, which is the last part of the application, which quite honestly kind of doesn't make any sense. In other jurisdictions, the claims are upfront, which I think makes more sense. Okay, but let's move on. Some of the points of an application that you can pay attention to is, we talked about the abstract. You can also look at the figures and see if it pertains to you, and so it helps you understand. And then you can also look at that if there's any cross-referenced, if it's the applications or patent is cross-referenced, it gives you a summary of the invention. Generally speaking, the detailed description is going to be the longest part of the application. The detailed description really takes the claim section, which is the nucleus, and really fleshes that out. The detailed description, along with the figures, you have to read them together so that how you have a better understanding of what the invention is. So when you're doing an infringement analysis, you actually have to read the claims, the detailed description, the figures. You also have to look at the prosecution history, which is the back and forth between the patent office and the attorney that was working on the file to see what was said. Then you have to do your analysis. So, really important to read the detailed description. But if you're a patent attorney, as am I, what I typically do is look to see if it is an issued patent or not. Then I'll look to see if it's expired. Then I'll actually go right to the claim section to see what's the inventive part of it. I typically don't read all of the application. When I read a patent application first, I go right to the claim section to see what's important. So if you're new to patent law and you're wondering, hey, if I need any help, if you need help or you're not sure what to do with how to read a patent application, just give me a call. I'm happy to walk you through it. My name is Derek Fahey. I'm a registered patent attorney with the Plus IP firm. My email address is derek@plusfirm.com, DEREK@PLUSFIRM.com. And you can find me on social media, Derek Fahey, PA, DEREK, FAHEY, PA. And then also our website is www.plusfirm.com. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. I post a bunch of stuff on patents and intellectual property matters, and hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.